not a home. Lately you've changed my life, and it just ain't right. So I love you.
All right, everyone. Hello, and welcome back to the ShortFilm podcast, your go-to place for exploring the magic of cinema one frame at a time. I'm James, your host and producer for the ShortFilm Showcase, and today we're diving into one of the most critical yet often overlooked aspects of filmmaking, and personally, one of my favorites. And I know I say this about everything, but this is one of the most hands-on things that you do during filmmaking: editing. The magic of editing, the movie magic, as they say. First of all, I just want to take an aside to say thank you so much to everybody who has subscribed to the show, to the channel, who is listening in actively. I know that the show hasn't really taken off and blossomed into what we want it to be yet, but you guys are just taking in my film school knowledge that has literally just been collecting dust on a shelf. So thank you so much to everybody who has stuck with me, who is continuing to come back every week. I know that I took a break last week, but we're going to get back into it. So, as I said, we're going to talk about filmmaking, editing, I mean. So editing is sometimes called the invisible art because when it's done well, you don't even notice it. But believe me, it's really the glue that holds a film together. So sit back and relax and let's cut into it. At its core, let's talk about it. Editing is the process of selecting and arranging shots to tell a coherent story. It's not just about cutting scenes together. It's about rhythm, pace, emotion, and structure. Editors work closely with directors on sets even to bring their vision to life, deciding when to cut, what to show, how long to stay with a moment. Editing can definitely turn a good story into a great film. And I remember when I was at film school at Temple University in Philadelphia, it was just, the editing lab was incredible. It was state of the art. It was back in 2014, and it was just some of the craziest shit that I have ever seen at the time. You know, coming from high school, you know, you have your little television production course, which is great and state of the art for, you know, a high school. And then you get to college and it's literally like stepping onto a soundstage. Temple University in particular, sound stages 1 and 2 were absolutely incredible, spectacular. They were great for film, for set work. You know, if we were doing sitcoms, shorts, all that kinds of stuff, all that kind of work can be done on that set, on that sound stage. And, you know, you would bring it back to the editing lab and just have so many available options when it came to how you were going to cut the film up. So editing, just at its core, you know, is absolutely one of the most important aspects of film. It has definitely evolved alongside film itself. In the early days, films were single-take scenes until pioneers like Edwin S. Porter and D.W. Griffith experimented with cutting and montage. Then came editors like Thelma Schoonmaker, Walter Murch, and Sally Menke, sorry if I've butchered these names, but who elevated editing into an art form. You know, over the decades, editing styles have changed with the times. From classical continuity editing to more experimental rapid-fire cuts in modern cinema. Imagine having to edit a film in 1976 like Jaws. I remember having to watch a documentary in film school about how they used to edit regular celluloid film, and they would have to cut and paste, and that's literally where the term cut and paste comes from, because it's so literal. There are definitely many different approaches to editing, I would say, but two of the most well-known are continuity editing and montage. Continuity editing, or invisible editing, is used to maintain spatial and temporal coherence, making everything feel smooth and logical. But montage, on the other hand, is about juxtaposing shots to create meaning or evoke emotion. So let's think of Rocky's training montage or Einstein's battleship Potemkin. Both styles serve different purposes in storytelling. An editor is part of the storyteller. So he's part technician, part psychologist. They work closely with the editor, with the directors, the producers, those people need to be in constant contact with one another. They need to understand the narrative, feel the emotional beats, and know how to shape performances. Sometimes an editor can completely change the meaning of a scene by rearranging shots or tightening performances. They often work in solitude for long hours but play a massive role in the final product. The best editors know how to make you feel something. A well-placed pause or a sudden cut or a lingering shot can evoke laughter, tears, and even suspense. Think of the tension built in The Silence of the Lambs, cross-cutting sequence, or the fast-paced anxiety in Requiem for a Dream. Editing manipulates time and emotion, and sometimes more powerfully than the dialogue itself. The rhythm and pacing is one of the most important things when it comes to the editing of the film. Pacing is everything in the film. A scene can definitely feel dull or overwhelming depending on how it's edited. Comedies often rely on quick cuts and snappy timing for punchlines, while dramas may let scenes breathe and linger on a little longer. Actions, obviously, they use rapid editing to create intensity, but it must be done carefully to avoid losing clarity. Rhythm is what keeps us glued to the screen. Does that make sense? Now, let's talk about a few films where editing truly, truly shines. Mad Max is one that comes to mind. Fury Road is a masterclass in visual clarity despite the rapid cuts. Pulp Fiction redefined non-linear storytelling with brilliant editing. Whiplash uses editing like drum beats. Sharp, intense, full of tension. These films wouldn't be the same without their editor's precise craftsmanship. Like I said before, editing styles have evolved with film and time. So, gone are the days of physically cutting and splicing film strips. Today, editors use software like Adobe Premiere. Ooh, I love Adobe Premiere Pro. Oh, so good. Avid, and other programs like DaVinci Resolve. This digital shift has made editing more accessible, allowing indie filmmakers and YouTubers alike to craft compelling stories. But while the tools have changed, the core principles have pretty much remained the same: story, emotion, rhythm. Editing plays a unique role in documentaries and short films as well as just features. In documentaries, editors often find the story of the footage, piecing together interviews, B-roll, and archival material to craft a compelling narrative. That's what makes them so interesting. In the short films, every second counts. So editing must be tight, purposeful, and emotionally resonant because people have, unfortunately, very short attention spans. It's where creativity meets economy. So, what are we talking about next for editing? I would say whatever's next for editing comes from AI-assisted editing tools. Those kinds of tools are definitely emerging, helping editors sort footage and even suggest cuts and, storytelling tactics and specific stock footage. It's crazy the way editing has come completely sixfold. Like, it's crazy. AI is making everything so much more interesting, and I can't wait to see how it benefits us in the future. I hope it benefits us. Virtual production and real-time editing are also becoming more common. And as storytelling evolves, so too will the way we edit. So no matter the technology, though, I think the editor's eye will always be the most important tool. Their instinct for rhythm, timing, and emotion will always definitely be the most essential piece. So that's a wrap for episode 7, guys. Thank you so much for sticking with me. Like I said, I really appreciate everything that you do, sharing my show, listening to it weekly. Like I said, I know I took a week off last week, but everybody needs a break, and that won't be very often because this is my ambition, and I really enjoy having you guys with me. Thank you so much, like I said. Editing may be the most invisible to most, but it's absolutely vital to the storytelling process. Next time you watch a film, pay attention to the cuts, the timing, and how it makes you feel. That's the editor's magic at work. As always, let me know your thoughts and favorite editing moments on social media. Be sure to subscribe, leave a review, and join me next time as we keep unraveling the art of cinema one frame at a time. Until then, keep watching and keep creating. Thanks, guys.
The house is not a home. Lately you've changed my life, and it just ain't right.